A break in the weather. I can do a kitchen garden review. I can give you a picture of me too. We'll start here at the pots. There's lettuces growing in the shade under the cherry tree under there. Pokeweed, red amaranth. Lamb's quarters growing from the pot. Haven't weeded. This is a porch patio tomato. I've been eating on tomatoes for a long time already. It's kind of given up. There's some raspberries that are forming again. I've been eating on this tomato like crazy too. You can see them, they're all missing here. Missing. And it's growing, and I'm trellising up into the cherry tree. I'll have a cherry tree that provided cherries, and now it's going to provide tomatoes. And there's a whole series of pots here with peppers and tomatoes and nasturtiums, eggplant. Look, we got an eggplant coming. We have a fruit. Over here we have black tomatoes. This one here, I think, is starting to get up. One of these is starting to get a little softer. Yeah, it must be this one right here. Those are black tomatoes. The highest expression of that black nutrient in a tomato. Lots of peppers. Look at that. I'm getting behind. I better start picking them. And there's climbing beans that are growing into this rose bush. Look at that. These are really sweet at this stage. And of course they grow some really nice soup beans. I've been growing these for 13, 14 years. That's got to go. We're going to get a little wet because it's been raining. These are 13 garden beds in my kitchen garden. This is the eastern side, so I'll be looking at them from the west as we walk through. These are popcorn that I planted. These two haven't been developing years yet, but I've got some that are. This is a type of squash. I can't even remember what it's called. It's got a weird name to it. And there's melons in here growing. Watermelons and muskmelons. And then we have, this is Polish red soft-neck garlic. Lots of those in here. Got beans growing in here. There's strawberries also in here, but I don't know. I'm probably going to be shading them out. Oh, there's some right here. Oh, right here. Here's one right here. This is a weed. I can pull that out of there. So here we have the strawberries. I staked some of the corn because we had some rough weather coming through. I didn't want it laying down. I don't even know what this is. We got elephant garlic growing in here. Look at this amaranth. Majesty. Yeah, how thick this stalk is down here. Look at that. This is cilantro, and it's starting to form coriander. I'm fermenting pickles right now, so I'm going to pick a bunch of that and put it in the brine. And you see the water, the weight of the rain, laying it up against the corn. Here we got corn that's forming some ears. Let's get on the other side of here. Forming some cobs. Look at, this is black popcorn, black seeded popcorn. And I started picking purple beans yesterday. Ooh, they're delicious. And here I tied some more. This is actually a corn stalk that grew a tiller, and I'm letting the tiller grow. The tiller is forming a real nice tassel. But I don't see any. Oh, right here. There's a corn coming. One of these has actually 3 of them coming. Then we have a lot of purslane that I like growing here. I haven't been eating any. I got to start eating them. More garlic and strawberries. Got a grapevine growing up the fence. There's a volunteer juice and artichoke existing there next to the bush. This is another row similar to the one we just went to. I have 3 of them like that. But these two have less coriander. And this one also has a tomato growing with it. Some dill. This is a corn that I transplanted. It's actually doing pretty good. I transplanted that one over there too. There's one behind me I transplanted. I don't remember planting this ground cherry, so I'm wondering it's a volunteer, but it makes very large ones, and they're pretty sweet. I've already ate a couple of them. So look at these strawberries, they're making it. So I'm getting quadruple duty out of my strawberry bed. I like the purple sheath, mottled purple. There's some strawberries actually forming right here. These are everbearings. So in the shade, I'm producing strawberries. More purple beans. There's a right here. Look at this. Look at all the beans growing here. I gotta pick them. Just a couple bean plants scattered in amongst the rest of this wild production. Also fixing nitrogen. Look at this corn. So here it's and I actually hand pollinated this one, these two here. And look at it's growing tassels out of the edge. Might be a corn on a corn. See that? Corn growing on a corn. And there's one on the backside too. This one's got it too. Look at corn growing on a corn. I've been feeding it my special ferment mix. Salmon head ferment with comfrey and all kinds of other weeds mixed with fermented horse manure slurry. Look at all the melons. There's melons all over the place in here too, starting to form. And right there, both muskmelon and little baby watermelons. I'm going to test my insulin resistance. On the ends here we have Yacon. That majesty there. Another one of these, I think it's a volunteer ground cherry. Look at that. Just loaded. It likes it here. Pretty soon I'm going to have to really be careful where I walk because there's vines all over the place. Look at there's 2 melons growing in here. You can see that's my ferment water. You can see the residue of it on the melons. Peas. Been picking a lot of peas. Are these ready yet? Oh, really close. I wait until they're totally full. More coriander. I can see what I'm going to do for a half an hour today. Here's another corn that I transplanted in here. Look at it. Even if it only makes me 1 cob. The corn was destined for death. The patch having been chewed up by a young raccoon or a possum. In the back. Another pea here. So I transplanted a bunch of them. And there are only 1 died. So here's this one is growing a tiller. I'm letting the tiller grow. And this one's going to have 2 cobs. You know, I'm assuming that it's going to get pollinated. I only pollinated like a half a dozen ears up in the front. And the rest of it I just want to see if it'll pollinate itself. And it should. I mean, this is kind of a block and the wind swirls behind the fence here. Here's one of the 3 basil plants. I actually clipped this one off a week ago. You can see right here. My niece was over and I let her fill up a couple grocery bags of food. There's another little bitty basil that I found. It's not growing. This is emerald wheat. I might make some wheat. Another corn. This one I actually planted 5 seeds in this bed, and this is the only seed that germinated. Or else I think the mice were digging them up too. Look at this real nice parsnip. Got a really nice base down here. It's gonna grow a big one. I'll harvest a couple of these in the fall, and the rest I'll leave over winter, so I have fresh parsnips in the spring. There's quite a few in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them right in there in a little spot. I guess I want to get across so I can see, but we'll do a double. We'll walk on this side of the bed, and then we'll walk on the other side of this bed because there's so much to show. Here we got a fennel. It's starting to form a bulb. Here's a weed that just got pulled out by the roots. Here's another weed. Just got pulled out by the roots. Here we have carrots. Carrots in here. Ooh. So here's one I can pull right now. I gotta keep pulling because I gotta thin them out. Look at that. That's a dandy. It's a real nice one. And we'll throw it over there next to that beet I harvested. There are more parsnips, lots of carrots. Oh, here's another corn. Oh, this is a corn that came up from seed. It was just muted by all the growth around it. I did put a tube around it, but I don't know what it's going to do. This is a leek. I scattered leeks in throughout here. I don't see very many. They're also getting shaded out. More fennel, parsnips, carrots, all along the line. Well, this is a corn that I transplanted. It's not doing very good. Here's a little bitty rutabaga. There's another nice carrot here, but we'll leave that one grow because it's by itself. And another nice one. And like in here, I should be getting in here and grabbing some of these, thin them out. Baby carrots. Right here is a golden turnip growing in here. Here's another golden turnip. There's more golden turnips in here. That one's got a deformed root. I should probably pull that out of there and I'll eat that. Today, eat the leaves too. Put it in a salad. Big time fennel. This is elephant garlic. I saw one hummingbird, so there had to have been more coming to sip in its nectar. That's one reason why I like to allow it in the form seed. Here's one of those. I think that's one of those corns that. Oh no, that's a. What is that? Is that garlic or onion? I think that's a garlic. Oh, that's cool. I'll put that in salad too. More melon vines, another yacon. This one here is just growing crazy. Oh, I gotta show you this yacon here. I'm trying to experiment over here. This one had formed a stalk that was leaning in the wintertime. You can see right here. This is where I planted the main root, right under here. And then it had this leaning stalk, so I planted the stalk. I put it in the soil, so I'm hoping it's going to grow some roots there. I don't know. It's an experiment. So look at it. It's growing. This was the top. Now it formed all these new shoots here because it came straight out of the roots. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any more production out of that. Okay, where were we? Oh, I wanted to show you the kohlrabi. Look at the kohlrabi growing. I check them once in a while, make sure there's no rot happening. There's a rutabaga growing in there. They're really doing good. Look at how big they are. See, like this here is breaking off, and when I get it off in there, and I feel if there's any rot in there. No, it's pretty solid. Here's another one, because they can rot right there where those branches are. There's another golden turnip right in there. And then there's a couple of them that are smaller. I don't know why they're smaller, but that's okay. They're still solid. And here's a giganto. It actually had a split right here, so I was checking that, but it healed up real nice. It's okay on this side, it's okay on that side. I try to get those branches away from it too, because I don't know if that branch encourages the bulb to rot. Check all underneath here. Yeah, it's pretty good. This is the one with the keratin and the corn. Here we have a little patch I never weeded. Lamb's quarters and goose foot, and I don't even remember what this is. And then there's the only zucchini plant that I planted here. And it's just starting to flower now. It's growing in with all the weeds. Another grapevine in the background. Here's some comfrey. All you permaculture people know that it's a nutrient bioaccumulator. Red amaranth. Here's a kohlrabi. This is a purple one, and I'm positive that the leaves are going to be, the bulb is going to be totally stringy and hard right now. So I wanted to harvest the, oh look at it. The kohlrabi is growing a kohlrabi. Look at that little bulb right there. Then I was going to harvest the leaves, and there's a spider or something. Got something in here going on. Call the biohazard people. I got a spider growing in here. This is a celery. This is actually a celery plant. Looks pretty nice. This is another corn. I'm not sure if I transplanted this or if it was just muted. This is a bed of mangels. That's a really nice root right there. Buckwheat, parsnips. I think this is not another celery there. I got the tag. I got to start harvesting it, put it in my salad. Kind of overlooked it. Here we have a rutabaga growing. And I get this mango leaf out of there, let it get some sunlight. A little dill. Here's a bean. Oh, got a couple little beans here. Let's see, stick that over the top of this leaf, then it'll get some sunlight. And there's a little patch of rutabagas in here. You can see them forming up pretty nice. There's 3 of them growing together, so I can actually harvest this one and eat it in my salad today. The nicer looking leaves I'll eat too. Another corn. So I planted 5 corn seeds in here, and there's 1, 2, 3 of them growing in this bed. They're muted by all the other growth. So hopefully I can get a late year corn. Here we have a tomato that I'm trellising up the yak on. A little patch of, ooh, there's a nice big kohlrabi there. Look at that. More celery, fennel, beans, buckwheat, okra. I've been always pushing the other leaves of the other plants below the okra. You see it's forming some pods here. Purple beans, celeriac. That's a different than celery. Same species, but this one grows a root. I've been growing those for years. Another okra pod forming right there. Brussels sprouts. I actually clipped off the top, so it stops growing up. It grows bigger Brussels sprouts. I've been clipping off the bottom leaves and eating them for salad. We had kale, red cabbages, collard greens. Look at this collard green. It's like a freaking bush. They're really nice purple cabbages here. This is like dinosaur kale. Another nice cabbage back there. I had this similar here in the front, and I harvested it all and put it in the freezer. And I transplanted these red onions into it. I'll probably grow something else with them too. Thinking about the rye seed. Another week or two I should plant the rye seed. Here's my lesser yacon. This is a real tiny little plant. When I put it in there. Here we got a little bush of skirret. So that one we're gonna have to go over again. We'll come right to this. Another yacon. Look at this. Okra's growing kind of in the shade. I've been kind of pushing the leaves down a little bit underneath them so they get some sun. I got to do it periodically because those yacons just form another leaf over the top. There's a lone kohlrabi doing pretty good. This is a bed of potato onions that I harvested. Now I got some fennel growing in here, and this is black viper root plants. There's white salsify growing with it. That is a weed. That is a weed. Yeah, I think that is too. It's sucking off that black viper root. Not no more. Yeah. I'm not sure what this is. Looks like a little okra. I planted some bean seeds in here. Get some beans growing in here. There's a fennel that's forming up a nice root bulb here. More black viper root. This was all laid down because I had so much growth in here. I muted everything. But now it can get some sunlight. And I harvested a lot. You see, I've been harvesting the dill. I'm making fermented dill pickles now. This is a bed of fennel that's, I don't know if they're going to form bulbs or not. I guess they will, kind of up higher maybe. It's just crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. It should be a bulb down below, so I'm just going to let it grow, see what happens. Red amaranth. Look at all that fennel. Of course, all these leaves are edible, so if it doesn't form a bulb, I'll chop them up with the rest of my salad mix and put it in the freezer. Here we have a white eggplant. It's growing an eggplant. It's growing a fruit. A couple of them. This is growing in a pot. I never transplanted them. I had some Cossack kohlrabi seed. I put it in there. I never transplanted these either. So we'll just let them grow in there. I had some okra growing in here too. I transplanted them. They're over in that onion patch there. I'll have to go over that again. And we got these golden yellow tomatoes starting to ripen. Look at this plant. There's 5 here. There's 4 here. There's 4 here. There's 4 here. And we got more coming. Here's my rye seed. I think it's ripe. With this rain, I probably should have pulled some of them off before the rain started. That's what I want to plant here this year. This is a bed of corn that I transplanted. They're doing very well. I noticed one of them had a silk growing too. Where was it? I don't know if it was this one. No. But I got this tomato here, black tomato growing next to it, and then I've got a climbing bean coming up. You can see the climbing bean. I'm trying to train that climbing bean to come around and replace this string. Now this is a New Zealand blue squash growing. I don't see any blossoms yet. Oh, maybe one's coming right here. Oh yeah, there's some down in there. There's another one right here, same plant, same type. Really nice parsnip growing here. Oh yeah, that's going to be a big one. That might be a 2-inch diameter by the time season's over. We got bush beans growing in here with the climbing beans. Here's a climbing bean right here. It's going the wrong way. This is where the corn is. You just got to come over here. I guess I didn't see one of them with silk. Probably just walked right past it. I think this is a cucumber. I might have had I actually transplanted there because I thought it was a squash. Well, and here's my cucumber bed. Oh, there's also purple proving potatoes at the end cap of this one. And these are Desiree. I actually dug one out and ate one a couple days ago. I got them very deep. They're at least 18 inches deep. So it's going to take some digging. I've been making fermented with dill cucumbers. They're really coming on strong now. I'm trying to keep them picked when they're smaller. There's all kinds of them. You see all these blossoms are probably going to turn into one. There's another glorious red amaranth blossoming. Cardinal approved. And this is an experiment. I grew the dill. I'm chopping the dill off. It's growing this thicker stalk. So I planted cucumbers in here, and there's beans down below. Harvesting beans too. But the cucumbers are climbing up the dill. Isn't that kind of natural? Everybody knows cucumbers and dill go together. Well, they grow together too. So here I didn't chop any of them off. I want to see if they'll climb right up them, if they're sturdy enough. And these I chopped. I keep chopping them. There's beans growing in the center of the cucumbers. Ooh, look at that. I didn't pick that one. There's a big one down in there. Oops, I just crushed this New Zealand blue squash line right there. That's right on the edge. Soon it's going to be too big to pick. I gotta get to work this morning. Get this stuff harvested. Here we have a pepper plant growing in here in the wild. That sheep's wool has little barbs on it, and I noticed one of the tomatoes had a slug on it, so I put that sheep's wool there. No more slugs. They don't like that barbs. I actually ate that tomato. The slug had to put a hole in it. Like this can come off of there. Oops, I don't want to split it. I'm going to have to get my pruner. Got more up here. That's black creme. I don't remember what that one is, but look at it. They're getting really big. Tomatoes like crazy. Tomatoes like oats. Look at them over there. I think I can get through here without destroying anything. Yep. And here's a really nice pepper plant. This is called Just Sweet. Lots of peppers are forming on it. One of these is a German Johnson or something. Tomato. I think I have 2 black cremes and 2 Cherokee purple. So one of these is probably black creme and the other is Cherokee purple. More amaranth. So here's a bed that I harvested red French shallots out of. Now we got the black salsify growing. Here's a carrot. Look at this. This is a black carrot. I think something's been eaten on it. Oh, well, not much there. A little bit to eat. This is a leek. Let's get that covered back up. This is a white salsify. It's a parsnip leaf, fennel. We'll come back for that carrot. So I should probably take out these fennels so I can let the salsify grow. Look at that. That's not right. That should be forming a bulb. Maybe I have too much nitrogen. Parsnips looks good. There's another black carrot right here. I'll pull that one out. That one looks like it's ready to pull. That's too much nitrogen. I think one of the Asian countries, they would view that as something really special there. Legs of a man. Let's throw that one over here by the other one. Yeah, time to thin this one out because I want to plant this with rye too. Ooh, this one's going to be a nice one here. It's got multiple legs on it too. Look at that. this black carrot supposedly has the highest expression of anthocyanate or something, special nutrient, antioxidant, prohibits cancer, inflammation. Yeah, I've been eating a lot of them. Look at this black salsify. It's really liking it here. I planted a black salsify, or a black viper root, and a white salsify together. This is the white, and here's the black. I actually planted a pea with it too, and I've already cut the pea out of there. And I also planted a black barley seed in here. But that one, I don't ever seen any of those. They might have failed. Here's another black carrot. Well, I got too many now. This is a leek. Maybe we don't want to damage that leek. Here's a white salsify from last year that provided seed. I got a whole big pile of seed to go through in the house. Here's a corn. I planted 5 corn seeds in this bed. This is the only corn that made it. There's a lot of pollinators flying around it. More Desiree potatoes. I got a pepper plant growing in here. Oh look, there's a pepper. There's some peas growing in here too. I've been harvesting the peas. Oh, this one's ready to pick. Yeah, these are all. I have to get out here. Another monster salad. Here's a ground cherry. I got them growing in here. So I should probably clip off these potatoes, and then that ground cherry is going to go nuts. Here's another nice ground cherry. Another one. Food everywhere. And here's a New Zealand blue squash.